you're not wearing a uniform.
No,
Why so?
I'm a civilian. My name is Yanette Graham DeCall, and I oversee human resources for the NYPD.
Very good. So specifically for the civilians, so what does that mean? Anybody can come into the force, they work without the uniform, just like you?
Yes, so civilians meaning anybody who's not a cop.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And how many of the civilians are in the force?
We have, uniform, total NYPD is about roughly 55,000 employees, so roughly 33,000 are uniform and the balance is civilians.
Okay.
Yeah.
With no uniform, what does the job entitle?
So it varies. So you're thinking about administrative titles. So senior police administrative aide, police administrative aide, principal administrative aides, clericals, agency attorneys, technicians, custodians. There's different titles that we hire across the city research scientists, IT titles, computer specialists. There are various titles, and overall, in terms of Haitians in the department, we have 841 members of the service who are Haitians.
Okay,
Yeah.
Haitian American, that's
Yes,
great. Good
yeah.
to know. Now, if you're going to work as a civilian, do you have to go through the whole training? You have to wear a gun? You have to be just like the other police officer with uniform? Is it the same?
So civilians are usually folks who would take a city exam, so civil service exam. The exams are announced by Department of Citywide Administrative Services, which is DCAS. Once DCAS announces the exam, you take an exam. Depends on how you do on the exam. You're placed on a list, which is called a civil service list. That's in existence for about 4 years, and you get called from that list based on your list number, and you get hired based on that list number. So each agency would be open to calling a list, and let's say NYPD will call a list, and we would call a list for one title. Let's say we call a list for computer specialist software. We call a list, let's say 1 to 50, and we'll call people from that list and hire according to your list number. So you get hired. You get hired based on how well you do on civil service exams.
Understand. Okay, understood. Okay, it's a job like any other job, but
Yes.
you just work for the NYPD force.
Yes.
I see. And the benefits are the same.
Yeah, the benefits are the same across the city. You get a pension. You get deferred compensation.
No, I meant same as the NYPD officers. You have the same benefits.
Not in terms of pension. No, the police pension is very different, but civilians are in a different pension scheme.
I understand.
Yes.
Okay. And I did ask the question. You don't need to wear a gun. You don't wear a uniform, no gun, nothing.
No, civilians
So-
don't. Civilians don't. We're just like regular folks.
Very good. You mentioned regular folk. That's good to say because some people are watching. They say, "Okay, you still work for the NYPD, so the perception is you're a police officer, but you're just a civilian and working into
Yes.
the NYPD."
Yeah, so there's always this misconception. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to become a cop," and when we go to recruitment events, we always tell folks we are so much more than cops. We are doctors, we are attorneys, we are trainers, we are computer people, we are custodians, we are administrative aid, we are clerical people. So whatever career that you can think of, if you don't want to get into law enforcement, we have a space for you in the NYPD as a civilian. So you can work your way up. For example, I always put myself as an example. I started in the private sector, and then I went to the Department of Finance. I took a civil service exam, and from the Department of Finance, I transferred to the NYPD. So as a civilian, you could move around. I never wanted to be a cop, and so many other people may feel the same way, but there's always civilian roles within the department. If you don't want to carry a gun, you could do something else.
It's actually a good example. Your personal example is a good one because they can relate to it, actually.
Right.
So how do they start? By going to the website, of course, or there is a number? How do
So there's the website is New York City Jobs. Once you Google New York City Jobs, you will find you can search by agency. Okay. So if you're interested in the NYPD, you select NYPD, and all of positions that we have open will be posted. And we also do recruitment events from time to time, so you will see us on the road.
Very well. And specifically on top of your head, do you have any position open now, and what are they?
We're always looking for, so the city does have a hiring freeze right now, but we're always looking for positions that are hard to recruit, like city research scientists, and for that position you need to have a master's degree and 3 years of experience. And we also have exams that are coming up for staff analyst training, which is entry level. You don't need anything but a high school diploma. And with a staff analyst training, you can move up to staff analyst, associate staff analyst, and admin staff analyst. So there's room for growth.
Yes, indeed it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.